Wow, that was very exciting. So, anyway, hello everybody. I know now I've missed a whole lot of you. Thank you so much for being here. Uh, Want to talk a little bit about. I'm kind of feeling the spring push is starting to happen. I got all of my hot peppers sown today, which was that's really the beginning for me. Like once those go in the ground, I feel like things are going to start happening. And I planted a whole lot of snapdragons today as well. I have great plans for those this summer. But getting the hot peppers in was, I mean, that's my first summer crop, right? That's gone in. And I really enjoyed that. And nice knowing that that's happened. And um, yeah, they just kind of have to do their thing now. So, uh, hot peppers and a few more herbs, and again, a lot of snapdragons. Last year, I don't know, I had so many snapdragons, and all it took was a day or two of ignoring them when they were quite young, and I lost most of them. And this year I don't want to make that mistake again. So, uh, oh, Garden of Whedon, that's cute. Thank you. Yeah, I'm on whenever I'm called upon to be there. So yeah, no, Monday nights are a lot of fun, and Mark did a great job on his first potty mouth. I think it went very well. So have you guys started any of your hot peppers yet? I put in about, I think I started 16. And then I can take a breath and don't have to start my milds or sweets here until for another couple 3 weeks. Um, yeah, I have big plans though for snapdragons this year, and I kind of want to make some big statements with them. I think they're stunning flowers, and I did not know this, but apparently snapdragons are edible. I did not know that. I think they'd be beautiful. Um, Never tasted them. Don't know if they're good or not, but oh, hi, Roxanne. Good you're here. Um, yeah, so I thought that would be interesting. And if nothing else, um, they could be like put on a salad just for garnish, things like that. Sorry, I feel a little off my game here today because of that little sound thing. And this new camera is just weirding me out a little bit. So just bear with me for a minute and I'll get my act together here. Um, and has anybody started any brassicas yet? Because I'm looking at the dates now, and here we are, second week of February, and my last frost date is like April 22nd. And, cabbage and those things can go out like 3 weeks before your last frost date. So I'm looking at the dates going, I don't have, I like to put out a plant that's maybe about 4 to 6 weeks old so that they have a good start. And I think my strategy for cabbage and broccoli and the brassica family is I'm just not going to fight those white butterflies this year. I feel like last year they won. So I'm trying to get things out as early as I can so that maybe I miss the butterfly, those white butterflies that are just awful, uh, and get mine out before that even becomes an issue. So I'm trying to play the game with them a little bit better. Um, I am going to try some different netting. But that's it feels like, and I don't know if I'm just getting more of those butterflies than I used to. The cabbage moths, any way you want to call it. Maybe I'm getting more than I used to, but it feels like uh, a battle that I'm just losing. So I know I can spray things on them. I haven't really thought about, dousing them with BT, but you have to do that um, every time it rains. You have to do that again. So I need to think through that strategy, but I really want to try to get them in and out before those horrible things show up. So uh, I'm going to be playing around a little bit with that this year, trying to think of new ways to because you can't even like plant a few and go, okay, these are for the butterflies, because I don't think they're quite sharp enough like to know here's the sacrificial brassicas for you. They're going to still go after whatever I would like to keep. So we'll see if anybody has any um, other tips besides BT or bigger netting or a stronger netting. But I am just like, I don't know that I even want to battle that this year. So I'm kind of, yeah, here. I know I've missed a whole lot of comments up here. So I'm kind of getting my stride back again. So so let's see what after the debacle of the sound. Okay. Great. Yeah, okay, the other camera. Thank you guys. Uh, Graham saying just ordered his Snapdragon 2 days ago. Never had them. Oh, they're so beautiful. They're really one of my absolute favorite garden flowers. And they'll take a little hiatus at the heat of summer, and then they will spring back beautifully in the fall. And if you want to, you can also stagger some planting so that maybe you've got some younger ones coming along as that heat of the summer takes over. But beautiful flower. Oh, Graham, thank you. That was very kind. Uh, let's see. I saw some. This is from Robin. I direct my tall snaps. They seem to perform better. Okay. Um. Oh, so you direct sale them? Oh, okay. Yeah. They just seem to take so long to get going that and this year I found that last year because of the weird spring, which I think this year is going to be a weird spring too, but because of the weird spring, I held so many things back that I think things got off to a late start. And I don't want to do that this year. I know that brassicas can take some frost, can take some because as we get near our last frost date, our frosts aren't as deep, and I don't want to. I don't want to play with that this year. I want to get them out and let them live or die. Like if you can take it, I want them out there because I just want to get those cool spring things out as quickly as I can. Oh, someone's got greyhound. That's Amanda. Uh, Amanda Jane. She has her greyhound cabbage plants waiting to go out, and all year round cauliflower. Awesome. And I bet you are in a place that you can get those out quicker than I can. But greyhound cabbage to me is uh, I discovered that through another YouTube channel, and I get them from some of my British purveyors. They're quick, they're tasty, they're nice. Uh, wow, Mel has cabbage. Okay, this is flare cabbage that needs to go out from ones I sowed last year. Now, how do you Uh, wow, how do you keep that going? Very interesting. I didn't know that that was one of those. And here's Mark talking about his hot peppers on the go. Yeah, I saw that you had a video come out today. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet because I was planting my hot peppers today. Those are hot. Wow, I'm not growing anything. Well, I guess like a Hungarian hot wax, but Carolina Reaper, I still don't know what you would do with those. Um, so, Mark, what do you do with those? I asked Tony about that because he grows those, and he's like, "Well, I didn't eat them." I thought, "Well, what are we growing them for? Just because they're pretty, and they are. They're very unique looking. Uh, very unique looking pepper because they look as nasty as I think the heat is in them." Um, Karen is saying brassicas are a go here in Delaware, though I only grow leafy ones as my husband is allergic. Okay. Lots of bok choy and broccoli rabe. Awesome. So how soon can you get that out, Karen? Because Delaware, yeah, don't judge me on my US geography. I think you're north of us. It's hard for me to tell once I get into that New England area, how north and how south we are because of all the rivers and lakes and stuff. Uh, but yeah, wow, good for you. But yeah, I love bok choy and broccoli rabe. That to me says spring is here when the broccoli rabe is in the garden. Karen's got cauliflowers in, or Sharon, I'm sorry. Uh, Stephen has got cabbages, broccoli, and cauliflower. Uh, this is Roxanne from Empty Nest Gardens. Her last frost is May 27th ish. Absolutely. Yeah, you're about a month. I think we talked about that. You're just about a month behind us. And because I realize now that I've planted these hot peppers, which also means the rest of the peppers are coming soon, and then the tomatoes, that's when the growing station really starts to run out of room because those plants get nice and big, and you want them nice and big to get them out. Um, but yeah, so I realize, you got to hedge your bets with that, right? Before, I don't know about you, but my house at the end of April, when I'm waiting for the tomatoes and peppers to go out, because they need to go out a few weeks after the last frost, it looks like a garden center in here. I've got them under dining room tables with clamp on lights, and you do what you got to do. Uh, what else? I saw somebody else. I think it was Mags. She's got a few. Well, nope, wrong button. Here we go. Mag's got a few cauliflower seedlings, but they don't seem to be doing too well. What is it that sometimes when we plant things and I don't think we vary that much from year to year. We're reasonably experienced gardeners. But some years they do great and other years uh, they don't. And I'm not quite sure always why that is. Maybe the humidity in is different. Maybe blah, blah, blah is different. But it really makes me think, am I not that observant that I don't always see why this or that happens? Or maybe that's just nature and things happen good sometimes and things don't flourish other times. Uh, oh, I think I have a commiserator with the brassicas. Robin is saying she loses the battle with brassicas unless netted. They show up early here in Chicagoland. Yeah, well, I'm gonna start really tracking when those little white butterflies show. I really hate that they're butterflies because I love butterflies, but these guys, and I know they got to eat, and I know it's all part of the cycle of life, but man, can't ya? Can I plant one and like put a sign out and say this one's for you? Just leave mine alone. Uh, we got Roxanne here. Is those dreaded white moths. This year I invested in Enviromesh or whatever. I'm not messing around this year. I'm determined. Okay, I need to get that back because this year I'm like, dudes, you crushed my spirit last year, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about you. And this is Philip, and he got cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli sown this afternoon. Awesome. I use scaffolding nettings over hoops. That is, I've seen that. Uh, I don't know. I mean, we probably have scaffolding netting here, but I was thinking about maybe getting that Enviromesh to keep them at bay. And then I thought maybe I'll just grow something else this year that doesn't. Yeah, I probably won't, but I'm really thinking about how do I want to like really change that up. Um, but yeah, I was gonna sow some cabbage today myself, Philip, but I got on with the hot peppers and the flowers, and then I knew this was coming up, and I thought, okay, we can plant some cabbage and things either over the weekend or next week. Um, I think the harsh, this is Amanda Jane. I think the harsh weather we had in the UK has helped a lot with getting rid of some bugs. I think we will get more of a head start anyway. Well, and it seems like things are getting a little more mild over there. At least, I mean, from what I understand, uh, that things have kind of started to turn around a bit. And depending on where you are in the UK, your last frost can be like end of March, can't it? And even if you haven't gotten your last frost, they're not deep freezes like many of us over here get. But I know you have gotten some, but I don't think it's quite like those horrible ones that we get. Um, oh, wait, I'm sorry. I will come right back to you, Anita. This one's right ahead of you. Uh, this is Mel, and she's saying someone said put dill around brassicas. Huh, I wonder. But then aren't there other butterflies that lay their yeah, I think it's monarchs that lay their eggs on dill. But then maybe it's just the dill that gets killed, and it's a lot easier to plant more dill than because that grows so quickly, particularly in the summer. Um, I've not heard that, but that might be worth a really good try. Thank you for that. That's great. This is Anita. She's done a small sowing of white cabbage, collie and brock, peppers, aubergines, loofah, cucamelons, and Jesse's indoor cucumber. I started indoor cucumbers, and they seem like they're stunted. They're not dying. They're just not doing anything. They're like little plants, and they don't seem to be doing great. So maybe I need to get them off my um, grow station and maybe put them on the windowsill and see if they respond to like natural light better. Um, yeah, Graham is. Oh, sorry, that was a in between people conversation. Sorry. Uh, this is Mags. I put my brassicas under netting, but I leave a couple out for the benefits that nest. Okay, for the benefits that the blue tits. Sorry. Oh my goodness. I can't. I'm anyway. That are in the garden to feed their chicks and on the caterpillars. Well, that's very kind. I think, again, I realize even with all of this, the white butterflies are trying to procreate and make a family, but I just wish we could control it just a little bit, like set up a nursery for them and go, here's yours, right? Uh, Here's Steven, who's got, once the brassicas are stronger, blast them from underneath with a hose a time or two. Oh, and that helps with the little caterpillars and the little grubs that get laid on there. Interesting. Uh, let's see who else we've got. Oh, Steve at Digwell apparently is a product that helps get rid of those. I'm gonna have to go check out his station and see. I do watch a lot of his stuff. That's why I think it's getting nicer back in the UK because he's out in a t-shirt, uh, or sewing some things. So that makes me go, well, it can't be that cold over there. But again, I think it all just depends on where you are. Oh, wouldn't that be lovely? Jean is saying her snapdragons come back and survive winters. Oh, that'd be lovely. There's very few. I won't say there's very few perennials, but this is an annual for us because of the bright, bright, bright colors, and um, so it'd be lovely if I could get a perennial that would produce color like a snapdragon, because those colors are just amazing. I'm growing a very, very bright orange that has a little bit of pink in it. And well, I'm growing various kinds, but I'm growing a lot of those because I have some accents in my house that are orange, at least in my kitchen and dining room. Sorry, and I think those would just be beautiful. So I'm going to plant those right outside our dining room because we have like an 8-foot glass wall, and so we can look at that. I think that would be super pretty. So Stephen is asking, how are my onions getting on? Or maybe he's asking everybody how your onions are getting on. They're going. Um, some I've noticed are very like sparse germination. So I'm just replanting or resowing so that hopefully by planting time, which should be maybe early April for me, because I think they can take a little bit of a frost too. I got the Bedfordshire champions for the first time this year. Germination was spectacular, and I've heard nothing but great things about these onions. So I'm really looking forward to how those store, how they taste, because again, that has been recommended to me on many, many, many by many people. So, but otherwise, I think they're going okay. I get a little worried that they're in so early, and I'm still separating the seedlings and getting them in their own pots. Well, and I should say their own cell. I'm not putting them yet in their own pots because they're not that big. Um, and so they look really straggly when you start separating them and potting them up. But I think we're going to have a pretty good year for onions. And I'm very glad for that because onions and garlic to me are kind of how you start like almost every dish in the kitchen. So uh, I got something about snapdragons here. Audrey, wait till the snapdragons have self-seeded for next year. So many. I have loads. Oh, what? Wow. I have never had mine self-seed. Maybe I don't let them. I probably don't let them go dead in the garden bed. I probably pull them prematurely to let that happen. But those are a good flower for winter sowing, and I have done that with them in past years. But our winters are getting so weird. Like today, it's almost 50 degrees out. And and then like tomorrow it'll be high of 20 degrees or something. So I have not probably going to winter sow this year because I don't trust the weather. I just don't trust it. And I don't want these things, blooming way before it's time for them to bloom. So, uh, yeah, let's see. Pauline is saying that she has lots of cabbage, cauliflower, 9-star broccoli, and pak choi in the greenhouse waiting patiently to go out. Awesome. That's awesome. I am thinking about maybe getting a greenhouse. I'm just not sure. I think I might be better getting a cold frame or getting a few cold frames for my bed because we get such hot summers. That would be like boiling in oil inside a greenhouse over here. And I don't, because our nights get so cold, I'm not sure if it would really, do what I would like it to be able to do, which is just grow some things on in just cool weather and let them go forward. But I am considering it. But I really do think cold frames might be better for me. CPU Things is saying I don't like kale, but it grows so well in my garden. It has survived. Oh, and you had a tough winter. Um, Good for you. And actually, I do have some kale under cover that I'm going to wait and see if it springs back this spring. Sometimes it does. It just tends to go to seed for me really quick. It bolts really fast if I overwinter it. And we've had such a weird winter. Who knows what it will do, right? So I guess I would say maybe start liking kale because that's great. Um, have you ever have you ever had have you ever massaged your kale? I don't know if you've heard of that, where you cut it up and you massage it like with the salad dressing, and it kind of makes the kale a little less bitey when you're having it raw, and it also I think makes it break down easier when it's cooked. I happen to like the bite of kale, so I really don't worry about that. But yeah, that's awesome. Uh, Pauline has lots of cat. Oh wait, I think Yep, sorry, I already read that one. Uh, oh, Delaware is south of me. Thank you for me and my geography deficits. I never really enjoyed geography, and obviously, and now that you say that, I've been to Delaware. So I'm like, of course that's where it is. Because that we went to Rehoboth Beach a couple of years ago. So I really should know that that's where it is, but thank you. um, let's see. Gosh, we have a lot of comments today. Uh, oh, we have a kale recipe here. It's lovely when shredded, roasted with brown sugar and Chinese fife spice, and drizzled with oil. Well, I can't imagine anything not being good when it's cooked with brown sugar. But that's a lovely way to also make kale a little more friendly for people who don't really like kale. And I think the brown sugar and the five spice would be kind of fabulous. So thank you. That's a great way to enjoy that beautifully healthy um, vegetable. Okay, I just saw, here we are with Karen. Last year I planted bok choy and broccoli rabe outside on March 16th after they had been living in the porch for 3 weeks. That's great. Uh, and I'm assuming that's a non-heated porch. So that's kind of like how you're hardening it off so that it gets out. Because I think that's also something like, don't forget, you got to harden things off to the cold just as much as you do to the warm if they're not growing already in that environment, because they need a minute to catch up and get used to what they're going to be growing in. Uh, oh, I would love that if I could have a date that early. Uh, Nicola's saying her last frost date is around second week in March. Wow, you've got to really be on it already then, because here comes summer for you. Yeah, that's awesome. Uh, yes, Audrey, about seedlings taking over the house. Try it with a cat roaming about. I do have a cat, and luckily he does not. He really doesn't bother him. So I'm very glad. I'm very glad for that fact because they're very easily available to him. But he does not seem to be terribly interested. He's more of a carbohydrate cat than a vegetable cat. Maybe that's why. Graham's saying he has 120 garlic, 247 onion sets, kale and broad bean in at the moment. Need to pull my finger out. Been busy trying to get people free manicure a couple of days. I help when I can. Okay, so you've been busy getting people free manicures or giving them. Hmm. Well, that's really kind. Uh, yeah, that is really super kind. Uh, well, I think Claire's in the house because I see a whole lot of highs to Claire. Um, okay, let's see what. Okay, okay. Next week for me is going to be some early brassicas. Like I said, I want to get those out and up and trying to beat the butterfly, the what is it, the savage white butterfly. We want to beat that if we can. Um, I also think I'm going to be starting perhaps some more flowers because they do take, some of them do take a long time. So you need to get them up and going about 3 months before you're putting them out. And I need to get parsley on the grow. I realized I didn't start that when I started so many of my other herbs. And love being able to pull fresh parsley out of the garden. Nothing like it. And there were a few other things I saw on my list that are going to take a whole lot more time. I'm also going to try for the first time, and let me know if anybody has grown this before. I'm going to try to grow some goji berries, and I don't think those need to be started quite yet, but I am kind of excited to be doing that. Uh, and they're black goji berries, so I thought, well, let's give this a try and see. Always looking for new and interesting things to get in the garden for sure. Oh, I'm so far behind on this chat. I'm just gonna maybe start back here at the bottom. And if I've missed something that you would like me to see, just kind of type it in all caps, or if there's a question, put a capital Q so that I don't miss it. But it does seem to be the time of year for the hot peppers and things that take, it's interesting how they are so flavorful, but they take so long to grow and produce. So I think that's why everybody's kind of on the let's get the hot peppers in bandwagon. Uh, I also think I mentioned this a few weeks ago, that I had a favorite Korean drying pepper called Amazing 2 that I used to be able to get from Johnny's Seeds, and the grower is no longer going to produce them or grow them. And they're an F1, so they're a little more complicated to get to that point. So I am growing a lot. I think I'm growing 3 varieties of Korean drying peppers to see if I can find one that was as good as that one was, because wow, that was really, really good. Nicola's saying she did try goji berries. Didn't get much fruit, but plenty of foliage and branches. Very rampant. Okay, well, that's good to know as I figure out where I'm going to plant it so that it has room. I did hear that they produce more as they get older. I don't know if that's true either, but I guess we'll kind of figure that out. We've got another comment here from Betty Barnes. Sheer curtains and hula hoops are a seriously budget-friendly brassica net. I have used, and like that's still what I use, is I buy tulle from like eBay, and you get an entire bolt of it for like $10. And I use that, and I have hoops over my beds. But I'm telling you, they got in there. This last year really, like I said, it really broke my spirit about these white butterflies. So thank you. But I think those are great ideas. Absolutely. Great ideas for budget friendly. Yes. Okay. So I'm seeing. Okay, you guys are chatting with each other. That is like totally awesome. And so, what is everybody else up to this coming week? What are your goals in the garden this coming week? Oh, I wish I had a cat that loved to pounce and eat white butterflies. I don't think he pounces as much anymore as he used to. uh, anyway, so what are our goals for this coming week? I had a goal for the last several weeks to get my additional lights up on my black shelf behind me, and I got them up this week. So that was awesome. So I was able to get, a flat of Snapdragons sewn, so they have a place to be and a place to live. Pauline is going to be prepping her beds. Great idea. It's always nice to get stuff done a little earlier. Yeah, okay, this chat is moving like the wind. Amanda Jane is cutting back and training a lethal wild rose over my gate arch. So I imagine it's lethal because it's not where you'd like it to be. And of course, they all have just lovely those lovely thorns that if you walk into, it's like a torture chamber. Um, okay. Oh, and that's one of my goals for this year. I'm going to get much more proactive about making some compost. Or I should say about, yeah, I guess it'd be making compost. We're in a suburban area, so I can't have the big, huge compost bays that most people can have. If you're on more of a garden site or something like that. Um, so I have two little tumblers. They're like you fill them up and you spin them. I'm gonna get much more intentional about seeing how we can move those a little more quickly. There's never going to be enough soil that will actually uh, help my garden, but I'd really prefer if we could at least be doing something a little more proactively about that. Francis, oh, I just missed your chat. I'll get back to you. Robin is saying next week is alliums week. Shallots, leeks, and onions. Awesome. I've got a couple of those in, at least my onions. This is Stephen. I managed the other day to get a lot of tulips and daffodils out and tidied the garden. Felt really good getting out in the fresh air. Yes, and like today, I'm saying it's almost 50. So I think when I'm done here, I'm just going to go sit outside and smell the air for a little bit because it's so beautiful. Um, Audrey, where it says your name on the screen, is that a view from your outdoor CCTV camera? Okay, wait. Where it says, okay, let me go back and find where it says my name. Is that an outdoor view? Maybe I didn't read that right. CCTV camera. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not understanding. So if you want to give that another shot, I'll see what I can figure out. Mag said I invested in hot compost bin, as seen on Elaine Cage channel. It's perfect for a garden. Oh, I think I know the one you're talking about. Yes, I do recall that one. Uh, yeah, I just need to find it. We have so many kind of ordinances around here about attracting uh, little verminy things. So I just need to make sure that we're not gonna. But I would imagine Elaine Kate would not be having something that was going to attract little verminy things. So I think I'll have to look at that one more time. Okay, you might not be seeing exactly what we are. Okay, so what are you seeing that I need to know you're seeing? Because that's concerning me now. Uh, yeah. So Claire, please let me know what exactly you're seeing. Okay, this is Amelia Mel. I've got to clean and prep beds first. Oh, okay. Sorry, you guys. I sometimes pop right into the middle of a conversation. I don't mean to, but it happens. So, so next week it's a lot of cleanup and get ready for what's coming, because it's coming. And I noticed last night we easily got 2 hours longer in our day right now, and it's so lovely not to have the sun go down at 4:30 in the afternoon. It is so nice for that not to be the case. Oh wow, what is? Okay, I have some seeds to post to my favorite Detroitian. I don't know if we go by Detroitian, but I like it. Um, yeah. And get well, I think we prefer Michigangster here in Detroit, or I should say Michigangsta. And getting some twisty willow branches out of the woods for some of our plat holders' chuck trimmings. Great pea sticks, yes. I have seen those used as pea sticks, and they are absolutely beautiful. And I love the curly willow sticks. I mean, they're just beautiful. And I am once again, I don't know what's going on. Oh, there it is. Holy moly, I am way behind. Mama's Oasis is saying, could you have removable cold frames on your current beds? Yes, that is what I'm hoping to do, because I think that is the one thing that would really, in my particular growing environment, I think that would do me much more good than a greenhouse. And just put it away for, well, actually, in winter, it could go back out in the bed, so it wouldn't even have to be stored anywhere. Yeah, that kind of sounds like a plan to me. Um, yeah, I have to go. I will go back and read this entire chat because I really do enjoy all your comments and all your helpful tips that sometimes I'm able to see here and sometimes I'm not. Uh, anyway, so here's the deal. I just want to encourage you. I think the time has come where we actually can plant a little bit more. Uh, so it's still that balance between being excited to get seeds in the ground and the reality that we really have to honor our time frame. Like, when are we actually going to get these out of our house or out of our? I guess if it's in a polytunnel or in a greenhouse, that's a whole different situation. But for those of us that grow in our homes, um, it requires a great deal of restraint uh, to not overseed early, because it just turns out to be, again, I feel like I live in a uh, garden center by the time I'm planting everything out. But that's okay. I love plants. They're good for the air. They're good for our spirits. They're good for the whole thing. So, uh, yeah. So I think we're good for this week, unless anybody else, if there's any question or comment that I need to see. I think some of you are going to plant after this was over. So I don't want this to go longer than it needs to. Uh, as always, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I really appreciate that. It's not lost on me that these lives are like at a time, and you kind of got to carve that out to be here. So I do so much appreciate that. I love that I'm getting to know so many of you just through the comments and uh, everything else here. So I wish you all a great week. A great week. We'll be back again next Thursday, and I might have more sowings that might have happened. And I will be coming out with a video really shortly on the peppers that I planted and on my varieties of Snapdragons. Oh, and I meant to tell you, today I made uh, mustard for the first time using the honey, oh no, the garlic that was fermented in honey and the mustard seeds that I fermented for the last couple of weeks. And oh my, it's absolutely delicious. So I think I have enough info, and we've videotaped it, but I didn't use a recipe. I was kind of going by taste. So, but I think I filmed enough of it that I can kind of backtrack track and come up with a recipe, but it was absolutely wonderful. So I leave you with that. And again, thank you so much. Have a good week and see you next time. Bye now.